Hey guys, I have 3 different Japanese maple trees right behind me that I do plan on getting potted up. One being the tsumagaki, and then 2 of them just so happen to be full moon maples. I originally planted up or potted up all 3 of these Japanese maple trees, I want to say 2 years ago, but right now they are not holding to water in their containers, as I'm pretty sure the roots have maybe outgrown the pots, so it's just about that time to pot it up. I did remove the tsumagaki from its container, and you can see all the roots that are starting to grow on the exterior of the root ball, so we're probably just in time before this guy starts to circle. So this is actually a good time to get this guy potted into a new container, and you don't want to go too large. The container I plan on putting the tsumagaki in is just slightly bigger than the one that it's originally in. So you can see here, this is the original container. It's slightly wider. I might want to get a tad bit of a wider container, but I don't want to cause root rot, so maybe we'll repot it in another year, if not 2. So we'll see. And as for the potting mix, I'm only going to use this Pacific Northwest potting mix. It's for flowers and veggies, but I'll add some compost in there as well. Honestly, I don't think the potting mix is too important, as long as you don't have too much woody product in there. It tends to rob the nitrogen from the plants or from the soil itself. But this can be carefully monitored by adding fertilizer, monitoring what your plant needs, especially since it's in a container. Things tend to run out a lot quicker. Like, again, the fertilizers and all the nutrients, they seep out of the holes in the bottom as you continuously water throughout the year. And as for the compost, I am using the Cedar Grove, which I kind of added it to the base of this pot here. I've never had an issue with this in the past, at least doing this, so I'm going to continue it, especially seeing how my Japanese maple trees do well, at least the ones I have in the container. They've grown quite some amount since purchasing them very small. And you can see just how much space is left between the root ball. I try to give it equal amount of space, and I'm also not going to plant it so high to where the water would seep out of the pots, or overspill from the top. So often, if you fill it too high up, or you plant the tree too high up and you go to water it, the water will flow out of the container and then you waste water. So it's best to leave it a little bit lower than you intend, but not too low, as the plant will settle down into the soil, causing it to be pretty low in the plant, or pretty low in the container. And if you are doing an up potting, make sure that you are packing down the sides around the plant so you don't have air pockets, because air pockets will end up taking out the roots. And if you really want to, you can add water as you add the soil, and this will help pack that soil into the pot itself. So not exactly an inch, or maybe it is an inch. So we're pretty close there, but not too worried, as the plant again will settle along with the soil as we water. So it's not going to be the same height. It's going to be a little bit lower, which I don't mind. And if you don't see it directly after watering the plant, just know it will happen eventually. These things do take time, if not directly right away, if you didn't pack it properly. With the next tree, or this golden full moon, you can actually see that the roots began to circle. So I'm gonna break that pattern up before I up pot it, but very gently, because I don't want to hurt the roots or ruin them. This is a pretty young plant. We're just gonna give it a little bit of a teasing just to break that root memory. And now that we got those roots really broken up all the way around the entire plant, because again, we don't want to encourage the circling of roots, as that can be very bad for the tree. I'm gonna pack this in with some soil. So as for the last tree, oh, this one doesn't look like it's fully compacted, but we'll see. Yikes, I don't think this one was ready. As you can see, the roots didn't really spread throughout the entire container. So I could leave this back in here and let it grow on for like another year or two, and then recheck in on it. This way, again, because we don't want to rot out the roots, so we don't want too much moisture hanging into the container. As you can see, it's pretty wet down here. Yeah, but we did water a few days ago, so there's that. And after I get done potting these guys up, I usually put them right back underneath my Japanese maple trees, which this one just so happens to be the Seryu. It provides really nice dappled lighting to the area, so these guys don't really overheat. There's less watering needed, and we don't have a lot of frying. All right, guys, it's starting to get a bit hot, so I had to switch out the sweater. But I will see you guys next time. And before I go, I wanted to show you guys these beautiful crocosmia. Look at that. They're such deep red, and they're growing throughout this entire area here. I know it's a pretty bold color, but it does go well next to this pine tree. You can see it's blue, and they kind of really clash. So you can see the two differences. But see you next time. Peace.